Welcome. Welcome to our Tuesday evening mind healing service. This is the event in the middle of the week that allows refreshment, I call it, to refresh our minds about principle and indeed just relax and share our consciousness with each other. I am Reverend Anne Shand, and this evening, I promise you, will be an evening that will provide much thought as well as food for thought. So let us begin now with our opening affirmative prayer. In the infinite power and presence that we dwell in, I know that we are immersed in its essence. We are also inlets and outlets of the distribution of its power, its joy, and its love. So I know this evening, as we allow our conscious awareness to focus on the truths that indeed allow us to experience life more abundant, I know that it is done in an atmosphere that indeed blesses each and every one. And indeed, that blessing that is amplified goes out to bless our island, Jamaica. So we give thanks for the sharing this evening and know that the healing virtue within us all is now open and allow that seamless flow of healing to fulfill itself as the experience of each and every one in this session and indeed our island, Jamaica. We give thanks for the sharing of consciousness as I release my word to law and know that it is so. And so it is. Just for a few minutes as we allow our nervous systems to settle down. We just close our eyes gently. And with each breath, we remind ourselves of that covenant between the universal and the individual. That breath that allows us to flow in the conscious awareness of pure God. So with each breath, just deepen that incoming breath. Release the outgoing breath gently. Releasing ourselves from the events of the day. And just going within to that sacred space. Acknowledging that supreme power and presence in our midst. Conducting this event, a Tuesday evening mind healing service. Gently turning your awareness to the present moment. Open the eyes very slowly. giving thanks for every moment that reminds us of that breath, the breath of God that has given us life. We are gently back together. This evening, I want to share in a topic which came up in this month's themes from global themes from the Centers for Spiritual Living or Home Office. A part of it says balance does not mean everything is in perfect proportion. And it piqued my interest because that word balance can mean quite a lot of things. First one is it's an even distribution of weight, enabling someone or something to remain upright and steady. In a single word to describe that, one would think of stability and equilibrium. The second meaning of balance is a situation in which different elements are equal or in the correct proportions. A single word that you could use to mean all that is justice, fairness, impartiality. And a sentence that could simplify that is try to keep the balance between work and relaxation. Some of us have a little difficulty there. But it's to understand that the different elements are equal or in the correct proportion to allow stability. The next meaning is an apparatus for weighing, especially one with a central pivot, beam, and two scales. Some of us are old enough to remember when we went to shop, there was this scale. The scale is at the bottom and it was held by a pivot that had at the top already the measurements. So once you place something in that scale, the physics is that what is in there, the weight per pound or per ounce would reflect itself with the hands of the clock-like thing. I'm trying to explain it. If you all remember, in the shop when you have to weigh anything, it had the scale with its central pivot, right? That had the face of the information about weight. But let us think about this for a second. That we must remind ourselves that what I said previously was that balance does not mean everything has to be in perfect proportion. A state of balance can be achieved without everything fitting into place perfectly. I'll tell you how. So the individual perspective is required to determine what does balance mean in my life expression at this point. So I'm giving you something to think about while I'm giving you information. What does balance mean to me and my life expression at this time? What are the elements in our lives that will permit us to experience stability? That's one, which means that we remain steady and upright in the face of all of life's unfoldment. Or what would determine balance in my life as I navigate or juggle with the different domains of my life, the spiritual, the physical, the emotional, the professional, the relational, all of that. How do you juggle that and still remain in a state of equilibrium and stability, balance? Think about that. And as I was trying to describe what a scale looked like, what is that central pivot in our life that will support the various aspects of our lives without tipping to either side? Because balance means that it is an even keel now. And you have to know what will allow you to remain in that state of calmness and composure, no matter what. and also be careful of what would keep you to the other side. Whether there is overactivity and as against inactivity, where there is mayhem or peace, you can choose the extreme on either side in your day-to-day experiences, what you want to experience, and still remain in balance. But we must remember that the law of mind reacts to all of this in our reflection. Page 433 of our textbook, Science of Mind, authored by Dr. Ernest Holmes, reminds us that the law of cause and effect is the law of perfect balance, of logical sequence and inevitable consequence. In other words, whatever a man sows, he must reap. Logical sequence and inevitable consequence, because that's part of maintaining our balance in our life's expression. What is it that is in our conscious awareness? What is it that we are conscious? Our thoughts, our beliefs that will allow us to remain in that state of quiet composure and stillness. We are in the quiet confidence. We acknowledge this presence. We acknowledge it in all our ways, and we experience this quiet confidence. Our declaration reminds us also that we believe in the universal spirit, which is God, operates through the universal mind, which is the law of God, that we are surrounded by this creative mind, which receives the direct impress of our thoughts and acts upon. What it is that we need to do and to be in order to experience this state, quiet composure, equanimity, stability. I've been using balance as a noun, but it can also be used as an action word. The significance of balancing our lives without the focus of ensuring that all elements are in perfect proportion should be understood. Seeking that perfection, rather than seek after trying to fit everything into place, it must be perfect. For instance, I am going to do so. I am going to be successful when this happens. I am going to buy that nice suit when I've lost 10 pounds. You know, that element that we keep putting on the horizon, that we keep reaching for while not enjoying the moment. Always seeking after something to enable this process of experience balance to happen. When we stop it and then go around looking for the various elements that we think would suit us. Whereas what I'm trying to say is that the minute we think balance, something happens. But let us go on. Because in this state of becoming, while we focus or we stay immersed in this state of balance, something happens to our nervous system. It settles down. Because we have affirmed balance in our lives. So no matter what the other things are happening, there's this state of quiet stillness within each one of us. So it's in this state of becoming that balance starts, and it's like an enzyme. It just simply expands throughout the rest of your experiences and allow everything to settle down. So when you say divine order, that's what happens, you just start with the thought. And then the law of mind ensures that everything fits into place to match that dominant thought that you have placed in the law for its expression, for its manifestation. So therein lies equanimity, a state of calmness, evenness in the mind, balance under stress. That's Merriam-Webster's idea. Dictionary.com says that a mental or emotional stability, even under tension, calmness and stability by going deep within and allow. That state of allowing the law to do its perfect work. So we don't have to go around for the various elements to fit into pieces. All right, once that fits there, yeah, I'll have a perfect life. I'm in balance now. You'll always be seeking rather than remembering to stay in focus and allow the universe to put everything else in place. So as we think on our own perspectives, what we want our life to look like, living on point, life more abundant or on purpose, that is what we should have in the forefront of our mind and just let the universe do what it's supposed to do. It didn't ask for help. And our Bible tells us that God's hand is not short. Nothing is impossible to God. So if we remain with that thought of balance in the forefront of our minds, or what my life is feeling now, how do I want it to be in the next moment or so? Focus there on a state of joy and just allow the elements of the universe now to give you everything that will allow you to experience joy. Rather than, okay, I need to have that dress, I need to have that person in my life, I need to have this in order for you to experience joy. Joy is right where you are. And the minute you put your foot there and remain firm, then the universe does its perfect work. So balance really don't need everything in perfect proportion. It just need you to stay focused. So what is the call to action for us now in order to balance our lives, living this life of stability by using our spiritual practices to keep upright and steady in the face of challenges in the environmental ecosystem that we live in? Because every day, in every moment, life is not dull. Something is always happening. But you have to remain in balance so that you make correct decisions. You're not flustered. You're not confused. You know exactly what it is that you're going about. You know at the end point, as Troy said, you don't need to worry about the beginning and the destination. Everything else fits into place. You just remain down at the point of destination. What you want to experience. And it's more than want. You, the last talk we're talking about visualization. As you visualize that end point, everything fits into place. You're guided, you're impelled to do whatever is necessary. If bringing to mind pictures in the you're not kind of person, you are visual, or you're not visual, you like sounds or whatever it is, then you ensure that you listen to the right messages that allow you to focus on this end point of joy, that state of joy that you're moving towards, that state of success that you're moving towards. So, just as how you balance your finances, it's the same kind of methodology you use to balance every aspect of your being. What it is that the output, what it is you're moving towards. So you know that effort, right, is experienced through output, eh? So how you measure the how you measure the input? How do you measure your effort in order to get the output that you desire? And you have to be able to balance effort as against output. output. You can't want to have a Cocoa bottle shape and you have no intention of going to do any exercise and eating properly. Two, some people, yes, have the kind of mental nervous system that allow them to burn up everything, no matter what they eat. But most of us are, normal human beings, and we have to look at what we eat as against our exercise or mental mindset in order to move towards that new suit that you're going to buy or whatever it is, and allow you to experience that sense of joy and the rest of it that comes with buying new clothes. But the fact is that you have to do something. You even have to get up and already you can order it on Amazon. That's true, fine. But you have to make some effort to go towards the goals that you want to achieve. So you have to look at the elements, what you need to get rid of in order for you to remain in that state of calmness and composure. And focus on the mental, the emotional, and the physical elements to determine what will create a sense of fulfillment and well-being that you want to live in, that you want to live every day of your life like that. Something has to be put in place mentally for you to enjoy that life more abundant. Surrender is another word that you have to think about when you're thinking about balance. But there are some things that not going to be shifted by, the sheer willpower. Some things just dissolve easily, effortlessly, and joyously without your attention. But you know what attention do? Too much attention on something cause it to proliferate. So you have to watch you have to pay attention to what you're paying attention. What you're stressing yourself about. From you say stress, that means too much effort in the wrong direction. So you step back and figure it out. So wow. And allow, surrender to the presence and power that is within. Live in a state of surrender to spirit always. You can't go wrong. Cannot go wrong. And when you're establishing this integration with spirit in the silence, you get cues from the intelligence and the wisdom that naturally surround you to do whatever is necessary to put your life in a state of balance. So friends, it is all about us and our determination to balance all the elements of our lives in the proportion that perfectly suit us. What suit me, not going to suit Sandra, not going to suit Lily. So you have to come to some arrangement with your inner world. You have to know yourself. You have to know yourself. I remember an old magazine that I have, a Time magazine. It's dated January 2005. And in it, it talks about happiness, and it gives 8 things that will assist us in living in a state of satisfaction. The first one is to count your blessings. The second one is to practice acts of kindness. And I like this one, C, savor life's joys. Think about that. Savor the nice fat mango juice running down. Nobody worry about the tissue to wipe your face that is going down your chin. The sweetness, the smell of the mango, right? Or a nice glass of wine, the aroma that comes at the top of the glass, the feel of the wine going on your taste buds. Savor life's joys, the laughter of a child, that burst of abandonment from a child. It's like nothing you can describe. It just lifts your soul and lifts your heart. Thank a mentor. This is the fourth one. Thank a mentor or anyone who has ever guided you in any way. Learn to forgive is one way. That's the fifth one. 6, invest time and energy in family and friends. The 7th is take care of your body. Appreciate it. And as you're talking about appreciation, it's the same thing for those persons in your lives. Appreciate them. Appreciate the time you have with them. Appreciate every little bit of their attributes that allows your friendships to grow and unfold, and your family circle to just have that sense of family and fellowship. And the 8th one is develop strategies for coping with stress and hardship. Strategies, your spiritual practices. So that when things happen, first thing, you check your inner world. You check the things out of balance that need to be in proportion for you to handle certain things, hardship. You plan strategically as to how you're going to deal with that. Putting the problem in the back burner does not dissolve it, but in a prayerful manner, you're impelled to do whatever is necessary to straighten out that balance between intake and output, effort and goals. You have to be consistent. You have to think carefully. What is it that suits me, that makes me happy? What is it that I want to feel the sense of satisfaction? And it also asks, it also gives us a suggestion to experiment with the elements until the right fit is found for satisfaction. And they said, try extra doses of kindness and gratitude, and those have their own reward. So I'd like to open your minds now. I gave you 8 things. Tell me which one or which 2 that you'd like to practice with our experiment. Would you like me to read them again? Count your blessings, practice acts of kindness, save our life's joys, thank a mentor who has guided you in any way. Oh, and don't wait to express your appreciation to them either. Learn to forgive, invest time and energy in family and friends, take care of your body, and develop strategies for coping with stress and hardship. Anybody like to share which 2 you like or 3 out of those 8 elements?
May I please, Reverend Anne?
Yes, Sandy.
On Sunday evening, Charlton and I went to the University Singers. It was my second visit for the season, and it was their gala and closing night, last performance. And no matter how many times I experienced that group, I am just overwhelmed by them. So that's one of life's joys. But when you talk about balance, where I see my life going into work and church and home and prepare and work and church and it's like a continuous cycle that, I'll take a break and I'll go watch the TV and I feel good. But going out on Sunday evening, it was such a joy. And then afterwards at the gala, you see so many people that and you get hugged up and it's nice. How you do? And chat. Don't see for a long time. And then the endorphins are flowing in that space. And I became really present to that. I have maybe denied some of that for myself. So the joys that we like, whatever we choose for ourselves, that is one for me. I must experience more of them and choose to have more of them. Like when we're getting older now, there can't be any time to waste.
True.
Gotta do what I gotta do.
And the joy, don't save up what you miss today for tomorrow. You just miss it. That's why
you don't keep
to savor in not keeping, because tomorrow is a fresh new slate.
Yes.
So when you think of the people that you have met and known in this life. It's phenomenal. And when you put them up after 35 years, you feel that sense of connection just return. Somebody I've walked up in the supermarket that I've not seen from I left school. She was, I just said to her, I said, boy, we can't remember your name, but you were the first person as a school girl that I had a crush on. And she laughed. She remember. Did she remember how, how impossible these juniors are and they're seniors, what we have in common is school, and we want our school to be successful. So we're there chatting, like old time days. And, I savor that moment and I shook my head and said, wow, God, let me remember always to call my friends and send off a little WhatsApp to remind them, say, yes, you're still precious to me. The
Mm.
friendship is something that don't sell
Mhm.
at Woolworth. Don't
It's
sell
true.
there.
Dawn says, count my
Yes.
blessings.
Yes, I have
She
that.
said she went to the singers last Sunday. Was it Sunday gone or the Sunday before, Dawn? She said, I spoke with them after, including them with musicians. I don't remember seeing you there this Sunday gone, but could have been the last Sunday, but they were amazing as usual. And, just to be able to be in that space with a good vibe and, spirit expressing as the music. Oh man.
You think about that because yes, you see them year after year, but they come with something new and they are different too. So they're really coming with something new with every gala event that they have. So, and I mean, when you bring yourself in song, all of you, wow, it's a gift. It's a gift. Yes, I am going to return to the concerts. I mean, you miss all these things. The sharing of creativity, the songs and the movement. Whereas if you know somebody on the stage, right, Sandra? Whereas if you know people on the stage, it takes
It's
on a different.
raising another point, Reverend, and that just like how we schedule to go to the doctor, we schedule to have to go and get groceries, or we schedule a Sunday morning to go to church. We have to schedule time for balance.
Yes.
Or we
Yes.
just get caught up in the doing, and forget about the being.
And it's the being that we're going to translate as consciousness as we move through, life. That's what going to save us. Because if your being is steeped in balance, nothing can shift you. You will remain upright in the face of all issues. So it really behoves us to, as you said, spend time finding what it is that I need to put in proportion to allow me to live in this state of balance, calmness, and composure. The spontaneous enjoyment of life. That's part of it too. So, my friends,
Yeah, 25 too.
yes, anybody have anything else to share so I can go on to prayers? Good. Well, what is your call to action? Do something special this week with yourself. Do something special for yourself this week that will allow you to remain in that state of satisfaction and joy and happiness. Do something for yourself. All right. Any prayers that you want to share? I don't see anything in the chat.
No, not just Dawn,
All right. Dawn is health.
peace and love. That's three different prayers.
Yes, it's 3 different prayers. I have one for Pauline for health too. All right. Good. All right.
And just throw me in the health, please.
Okay. So let us begin. Our first affirmative prayer is of health. Sandy, Pauline, and Dawn. In this moment, we recognize that perfect life of God. That perfect life that is emanating in through as Sandy, Dawn, and Pauline, inlets and outlets of its light, and indeed its perfection and its wholeness. We are guided, each one of us, right now, and especially Sandy, Pauline, and Dawn, to be that perfect health of God. We're guided to do whatever is necessary for our body temples to experience that move, that conscious awareness, that life force that animates every aspect of your being. Cells, tissue, organs work harmoniously together in a state of balance and equilibrium as this life force moves through Sandy, Dawn, Pauline. I know for each one of us open and receptive that the alacrity, the agency, the strength, the energy that is necessary for us to execute our life's expression flows through us seamlessly. And that blueprint that is held within each one of us, placed there by the mind of God, regenerates, renews all that needs to be renewed, all that needs to be dissolved. And I know that as that state of regeneration unfolds through us, every organ functions easily, effort, joyously. There's a spring to our step as we experience the wholeness of God in through us, each one of us. This is the truth of health for Sandy, Pauline, and Dawn, and all those who are open and receptive, because the health of its people is indeed the presence of life that is within each one of us. So we give thanks as the Lord receives these words and manifests them perfectly. I give thanks that this is so, and so it is.
Reverend Michael is requesting peace for Jamaica during electioneering, and that goes with peace for Dawn as well.
Okay. Peace for the entire world. Oh, Reverend Michael likes to sing, God is peace. That peace surrounds us. In that peace we dwell. I know that as we allow that peace of God to flow through our awareness, there's a calmness of spirit, peace of mind. That is Michael's experience. That's Dawn's experience. And indeed our island, and indeed the very world. Where there is dissonance, peace overshadows. In every heart, there's recognition that each brother is indeed my friend. So peace is the truth of each and every sentient being on this plane of existence. With peace, calm confidence settles our mental abilities, the state of mind. We dwell in a state of confidence and assurance that all is well in our world of affairs, divine right action and order is expressed. And as we move into the election mode, peace reigns supreme. It doesn't matter the color, it's still peace. Peace is the truth about this nation. So I know that the nation's business must be conducted in peace and calmness of spirit and recognition of each other as Jamaicans. So as we just allow ourselves, just dwell in this quiet confidence, we know that we are indeed at peace. A peace that knows nothing but itself, a peace that passes all understanding. So as we acknowledge that God is indeed that state of calmness in our lives and affairs, our lives are truly models of peace, confidence, and calm. This is the truth about each one of us. It's the truth for our island and indeed the world. I give thanks that this is so, and so it is.
So it is. So it is.
Love.
Leighton, he's requesting divine
Divine.
order in his life and affairs.
All right, let me do that divine order and then just top it off with love. I open my heart and mind and know that indeed order is indeed the first law of the universe. So I know that for Leighton, that order that simply overshadows all of creation is that order that is now established in his life and affairs because it is his truth. Order must reign supreme. All the elements that allow Leighton to experience divine order now fits into place easily and effortlessly. He's guided to be and to do whatever is necessary for him to experience this order, which is even now revealing itself as the truth of his being. I know that all the doors that need to be opened are opened, all the doors that need to be shut are shut. And indeed, all the persons and the connections supporting him in this thrust to remain in equilibrium and balance. All his affairs are settled in order. He experiences prosperity at every level of his conscious awareness. He experiences peace and order all times. And I know for him, he remains steadfast in that truth, that order is his natural birthright. It's the truth. And I give thanks. I give thanks as I recognize that divine order is now established in every way, shape, or form in the affairs and the unfolding of Leighton's life. This is the truth. I know that it is so. And so it is.
So it
So
is.
it gratefully is. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
I know that as each one of us allows our consciousness to remain focused on divine love, that love that brought us into creation, that allows each one of us to participate in the unfolding of this wonderful life. That love that has been given us by divine right. It's natural to us to experience love, inexhaustible and unconditional, as we allow that love to just simply warm our hearts. I know that we are uplifted and enlightened. We enjoy this fellowship, being together on a Tuesday, as we enjoy each other's company, each other's consciousness. That is love. And it's that love now that overflows in blessing our church on our 44th anniversary. Blesses our Sunday service, a wonderful one of sharing and giving and allowing us to just remain relaxed in that simple fellowship and camaraderie as the Temple of Light. So I know that events planned for that day falls into place easily, effortlessly, and joyously. I know for our senior minister, as she hosts that service, I know that she's guided by that presence of love now, which unfolds through her easily, effortlessly, and joyously, as it is for each and every congregant. So I know that that bell of pure love now radiates through our country, bringing us all together in a wonderful Sunday service, a fellowship, a dance of love, as we truly just let go and just let God guide us for another 44 years. We just give thanks for this love in our hearts that is overflowing in our lives, that allows us to maintain a life of balance and satisfaction, life worthwhile, life more abundant. It is truly God in activity in through us. Oh, I give thanks for this love. I release my word to that law of love that simply now makes it so. This is the truth. I know that it is so. And so it is.
So it is.
So it is. So it is.
Okay, I'll ask Miss Sandy to put up the slides for me. Thank you, Sandy.
What am I doing? Sorry. Oh, my
Right.
word.
Well, we start off with what? Sunday first. We're
Yeah.
having a wonderful celebration.
Wait a
And
little bit, wait a little
right.
bit. Patience, patience. All right, I think the first thing is your
Tuesday evening, right? Our support group that meets in the book room every Tuesday.
Mhm,
It's a wonderful facility for us.
mhm.
And if you have friends who are experiencing any sense of separation, invite them over to the temple. It's worth their while. 6 o'clock to 7:30 in the book room with Lorraine Jones Lawrence as the facilitator. Labyrinth Walk, July 2, that's tomorrow. Let us come out and share in our consciousness of peace. I walk in the labyrinth at 5:30 p.m. It's a spiritual practice. It can only do good. So come and join us. And prayer call is on Thursday at 6 p.m. Come and be lifted up by the transformative power of God's love, peace, and joy. This prayer call, phenomenal. And after prayer call, you're invited to join this book study based on the prospering power of love between the hours of 7 to 9 p.m. is facilitated by Reverend Sonia Davidson, practitioners Vance Gardner and Steve Golden. And I know Sheena Robinson is taking part in that facilitation as well. It's a wonderful book. And well, I have sold off the ones that I have at the table. So if you have a friend who will lend you, please join them on Thursday night. It's something that you can do to assist you in living a life of balance. Oh, our Sunday celebration, 44th anniversary. Wow. It's going to be a truly wonderful event. We have testimonials of how persons are using the science of mind. Come out and listen and share. We have the songs to match. So just come and bring your potluck. I think it was explained to you what potluck means. And as well, if you have any grocery items or any other items to share, because we have two organizations that we normally try to, assist at this time in celebration or in Thanksgiving of how we have been blessed. Bethlehem Children's Home, right? And the National Children's Home. So if you have any items, probably books or things lying there that you know would be of use to children. And indeed, we also have the sanitary items that they need as well. Please come with them, and we'll, after church on Monday, we bless them and send them off to the two homes. So yes, and the potluck, the dish to share. Wow, we're going to have a fantastic time. All those chefs, those cordon bleu chefs at home who not putting out a sign, please come let us share your wonderful recipes. All right, and it will be on the coffee terrace. And at Sunday at 2 p.m., instruments. In fact, I think we have 9 young people now who are anxious to learn. And Alejandro, the tutor, is ensuring that they practice their notes and whatever. If you're curious and you want to learn how to do something in terms of music, we have the guitars there, we have the drum sets there. So come and join. Don't feel, nervous or shy. Come and even listen, because it's good to be among young people as they strum the guitars and, listen to the instructions from Alejandra. It is an experience. So come out and join us. And we want a band, that is the outcome. We need a band. So come. Okay, so that is it. And on the 12th, well, Konoko Falls in Ocherias, that is our annual TOL Family Fun Day. And the cost includes transportation and lunch. You should have been paying your 8,700 by now for adults and 6,500 for kids. The bus leaves at 8:30. So contact Jennifer Livingston if you have payments that need to be settled. So we're going to have a wonderful time at Konoko Falls and Park on Saturday, July 12th. So remember that. And we're back here next Tuesday at 6 p.m. with Jennifer Livingston. Jennifer, practical science of mind practitioner. Join her for a topic that is sure to enlighten and illumine. So see you next Tuesday. And we are so grateful for your donations of time, talent, and treasure. And if you feel moved to support our ministry, please feel free. All the information about how to donate is on donate.templeoflightcsl.org. And yes, we do thank you and appreciate you, your generosity and consciousness for helping us to remain as a beacon of light for this world. And before you touch that donate button, let us bless our love offering together. Lovingly I give, joyfully I receive. Be thou fruitful, increase and multiply. Bless, prosper, and enrich everyone whom you touch, and replenish all of my financial affairs. Thank you, Father, and so it is. The prayer of our center. The Temple of Light Center for Spiritual Living is a sacred field embodying our spiritual community from which the Christ, peace, love, and joy emanate. To touch, to heal, to bless, to prosper, and to liberate anyone who comes into contact with it in any way. The light of the Christ illumines us, our center, and our environment. Our spiritual community is filled with and surrounded by the presence of God and is growing from strength to strength. The power of God expands our consciousness of truth, guiding us ceaselessly along the paths of wisdom, spiritual growth, unfoldment, and attainment. We are blessed, and to God be the honor and glory forever. And so it is. That is a prayer for our church that we sometimes need to say. The prayer for Jamaica, the radiant light of God's love, is now flowing through us and from us to everything and everyone it touches. Eternal light of God's love now completely fills, covers, and surrounds our island Jamaica. The glowing intensity of the light of God's love now interpenetrates and awakens within the hearts and minds of our countrymen and women the truths of life, which is light of God's love is growing, glowing in intensity in the hearts and minds of mankind everywhere. Love, health, harmony, goodwill, peace, uprightness, integrity, joy, prosperity, kindness, and our oneness under God are now established, and so it is. Thank you for joining us. Thank you, Sandy, for assisting me. And Vance is with us this evening. What you taking away? You want to do something? And Lily, how are you?
Very well, thanks. Thank you very much. Excellent.